Harm. Yo, what is up, guys? Game goes back again once again, doing another review for you guys today, man. So today we are reviewing Death Stranding 1, specifically the director's cut. If you guys didn't know, Death Stranding released back in November 8th, 2019. The PC version followed up in July 14th of 2020, with obviously the director's cut, which I will be reviewing, was released in 2021 for PS5, then to PC 2022, and then they got a Xbox Series X version for Series X version in 2024. So if you guys haven't heard about it, Death Stranding is this game made by the very big game guru himself, Hideo Kojima, very well known for the Metal Gear Solid series and some other cool games that he made. And yeah, this is the new IP that he worked on, one of the latest IPs that he worked on. And the director's cut is just an extension of the original game. So as you guys have read by the title, you might have some idea as to the reason why I didn't play it, because I just kind of put it off. I wanted to play it back when it released, but I never had the time, and I heard the game was like super, super long, and I just didn't want to put the time in. I had the game installed and played it, and I was like, what is this game? You're just walking around, delivering things, and I had no interest in the game whatsoever. And years later, part two actually released. As you guys know, Death Stranding 2 is officially out. I think it released last year or early this year, I think. But Death Stranding 2 is really good, and I didn't play that yet, so I wanted to play part one in preparation to play part two. And part one wasn't that bad. I mean, it's actually a good game. It's a good game. Dead Stranding is a really good game. It's one of those niche games that you just need to play and experience for yourself, because as I said, what made me like finally try the game is the fact that I really wanted to play two. Part two looks really good, so I will be doing a review for that on my channel later this year, in this year still. So let me know if you do want to see that in the comment section below. But my expectations with playing it wasn't that high. I knew obviously it's a Hideo Kojima game, so the cinematics were going to be good. I going into it, I knew the cinematics should be good because Hideo Kojima makes awesome cinematic games. And I had some expectations before playing it, and I thought that the game had a really good sense of reality and its own world. I thought the game is very unique in the sense of being a different game, and that's why it was so controversial at launch. People were not happy with this game. Like, you just walk around, you deliver stuff, but there's more things to it. You actually get action in the game. Further you go into the game, you get weapons that you can use, and you finally get vehicles that you can use, so you're not walking around all the time. Even though walking is encouraged to experience the game best, I think that they give you the option if you do eventually get bored of walking around. There are instances where you have to, where the vehicles are not there, and you have to actually walk, and you have to climb on over mountains, and yeah. So the opening hours in the game, let's talk about that. It's the opening hours. It's a slow beginning and a little bit of a confusing story at the beginning because you don't understand everything. And then the intro definitely hooked me when I played it for a little bit into the prologue. The game actually has 15 chapters, which are spread across 15, I think 50 or 25 hours. Game is about 35 to 45 hours long. I think I spent uh, nothing more than about 34 hours to 32 hours, I think, to complete the game. I've been playing it for like almost 2 weeks though, and no, not playing it every day, but putting in a lot of hours playing it. So the game is quite long. So you've got a really good long story here, and first reactions to the gameplay loop was definitely not great. Like, the gameplay, you just, well, like I said, you walk around, but like I said, the game wants you to go through that so that you can experience the depth of the game. Yeah, let's talk a little about the gameplay loop. You deliver cargo, so you've got to deliver cargo in this open world, big open world, and there's a lot of things that you got to do. You got to traverse the terrain. You got to learn how to balance the cargo that you are carrying. There are different routes that you can take. You've got to plan the routes, and you've got to use your resources as much as you can, and you've got to manage your resources as well. So this is just one of those heavy, like simulation-based games, but it's not like your average simulation game. It's more in depth. There's a lot of things that soaks into the story of the game, and the walking becomes strangely addictive because the satisfaction of getting to your destination and delivering that package is really cool in the game. The satisfaction also of rebuilding roads, rebuilding structures, it's all up to you. You get all of the opportunities to rebuild. It's all about rebuilding America, right? So in the games, there's this thing as Union or this company called the UCA, which stands for United Cities of America. So you are rebuilding cities, connecting cities again because the Death Stranding is something that has affected the world, and it's something that it's like a weather type of anomaly. So the rain actually causes people to like age faster, and it causes things to decay, and if you are in the rain and you get hit by a single drop, you can actually age faster. But there's more to it. It's not just the aging factor. There are also things that happen, and there's these things called BTs, people who have been consumed by the stranding. So they turn into this black type of, things, and it's kind of like Venom from Spider-Man. It's insane actually, and like I said, the gameplay loop is just that you've got to think about this Death Stranding rain that you're running into. You got to think about how the rain affects the cargo. The cargo can get damaged, and you get a lower score for delivering it if the things is damaged. So you got to take note of that. And particular deliveries cannot be cargo cannot be damaged. You got to make sure the cargo arrives there unscathed, and yeah, that is the core gameplay loop, guys. That is what you're doing in the game. You're delivering cargo, but like I said, there are some combat and some stealth elements as well. You get human enemy encounters in the game, so there are other humans in the game which you do combat against, or you can use stealth, or you can take them out with your hands. You can even use weapons, and the BT encounters are insane. BTs are the things that I mentioned that it's kind of like this Spider-Man Venom type of thing. So you gotta take note of that and make sure you move slowly past them, and you cannot breathe in the vicinity of these creatures, BTs. So you basically got to hold in your breath, and that's where the stealth element comes in. And then you also get, like I said, there are some gunplay sections. You can use guns to fight other enemies in the game. So the combat feels, whether or not it feels necessary or secondary, the game does give you that option. And there are some boss fights. I think there's about maybe five or four bosses in the game, and some really good cinematic moments with these bosses. And I did really enjoy that. And like I said, you do have to rebuild America, rebuild the whole the cities and whatever, and that's where Hideo Kojima's storytelling comes in. There's a lot of themes of like connection and all these weird concepts that he's taken into consideration and put it into a game, and explained simply. I think there's a lot of emotional moments in the game, and I won't spoil anything for you, but the story definitely still holds up in 2026, even though the game came out a while ago, a couple of years ago. Kojima's storytelling is insane here. I think the game came out in COVID time, so this game was really, really good for that time, and I'm actually sad I didn't complete it during that time of COVID. But now I have an understanding of what he wanted to create with this game, Hideo Kojima. Yeah, the game emphasizes world building, and that kind of brings me to how the game looks. The visual quality on PC, the graphics overall, the weather effects look really good, and the environments look good, and the facial animations just look insane, and the quality of it is insane. And to think the game actually released on PS4, Later on, the game got a PS5 upgrade with the director's cut. But the game performed very well as well. I played it on max settings and I got a really good performance with the game hitting a steady 60 frames per second, sometimes dropping very rarely, but the visual quality is really good, as you guys know. Even in like the game that came before Death Stranding, as you guys know, that was Metal Gear Solid, right? That game even looked really good. Even though that game is still old today, you can go back to that game and it looks amazing. It looks like a next gen. It just doesn't look like anything on the market when it comes to games. The facial animation is so good. And yeah, that is the graphics, guys, and the atmosphere. So the graphics is 10 out of 10, really, in my opinion. What they did with like the weather and the rain and the terrain and how the grass looks and the characters just look amazing. So yeah, that kind of brings me to a little bit of the soundtrack. So they use licensed music in the game, which I cannot play on my channel for obvious reasons. But the licensed music that they use in the game is really cool. It gets you into the whole idea of this Death Stranding and how people are taking it and why the game is the way it is. But the soundtrack is really good. I will just say that without spoiling anything for you. Uh, so as to the game being a director's cut version, so you get everything with the main game, everything that the first game had, but you do get some extra missions. You get about 3 or 4 extra missions, I think, and you get some new gadgets with some quality of life improvements. They updated the game a little bit, and the director's cut is actually the best version to get because you have all of the new content, and it's definitely worth playing other than playing the original version. If you've never played the game, don't get the original version, get this one to get a really good understanding of the story, because once you've completed all the missions, you do get the option to play the director's cut extra missions. So you get the extra missions, and those gives you a little bit more context as to Sam's story. As I said, you play with Sam Bridges. I don't even think I said that for the whole duration of this video. But the main protagonist, as you guys, a lot of you probably know by now, it's his name is Sam Bridges, and he's played by Norman Reedus. And that brings me to the cast of the game. The game has a really good cast, though. If you think about the cast, you got a really good cast. You get to play as Norman Reedus from The Walking Dead. You play with him, and then you also get who is it? Mads Mikkelsen, Leah Seduce, Troy Baker plays as Higgs Monaghan. So the cast is really good, and I'm sure you will know a lot of these people in the cast. So having those cast crew in mind, you should know that the game had a big budget. So with the game having a big budget, that means that the game will more likely be a success and it will more likely be a really good game. There aren't any online features for Death Stranding Director's Cut other than sharing your score and sharing your porter or your whatever you want to call it, your porter score. You can share on to the community. There's some interaction, but not direct multiplayer. Like you can't jump into matches with other people or things like that. But it's got a unique social system, and whether or not the online mechanics are still active, I'm not sure about that. I don't think the online mechanics are active that much. It should be though. So, speaking about all of those things, I think now I want to talk about the cons. So, things that you might hate. The game has slow pacing. So, like I said, you are trekking over a huge map a lot of the time. So, the game is slow. So, you got to give the game time. There are some long cutscenes in the game, and there's some heavy exposition. And the game is not for everybody, definitely. The first time I had the game when it released, the game was not for me. I did not want to play it. So it took a little bit of aging for me to actually understand what they wanted to achieve with this game and to actually enjoy it. But the things that surprised me was how relaxing the game feels. There's a lot of emotional attachment to all of these deliveries and all of these traversal things that you do in the game. And unexpectedly, the cinematic moments are really cool. And the game definitely feels unique, even today after being out for about 5 years. So with that in mind, is it still worth playing? Definitely. And like I said, it's not for everyone, so not everybody will enjoy it. But if you do like it from the start, then you are definitely going to enjoy it. So the best platform to play it on would definitely be PS5, Xbox Series X, or PC. Depending on what PC you have, the graphics will be tuned up. But the game definitely aged well, and I do want to give it a final score now. I think a final score for Director's Cut is a solid 8.9 out of 10. Like a 8.9 out of 10. Almost a 9, so I think it deserves a 8.9 out of 10. Let me know. Let me know what you guys think about the score. Let me know if you think it's a good score. Let me know if you actually played the game. You think it's good. Let me know in the comment section below. I'd like to hear from you guys. And as you guys know, I've been Gameverse. Please subscribe to my channel for some more reviews, awesome videos. I appreciate you guys for checking this video out. And as you guys know, I will always see you in another video.